I'm gonna pause the music. I do not work at Ubisoft. I'm not that I'm not that cool, guys. Hey, spectate status? That's kind of cool. That's new. I've never seen that before. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna start going over Inferno, and like I said, yeah, classes in session, boys and girls. So basically, as I was saying the other day about, not the other day, when was I saying it? Earlier today? Well, basically, I think there's a lot of misconception on how to be competitive. And I know that a lot of my viewers, a lot of viewers in general on Twitch are newer to the game. And so basically, I want to just go over the game of Counter-Strike is basically just all about advantages and disadvantages and what you can do to higher your percentage of winning the 1v1 battles, right? And you always want to make sure that you're never at a disadvantage. And well, you try your best anyway. So what I mean by that is that's why there's nades. It's just to help set you up for success, right? And how you peek corners. What can you do as a player in game to maximize your headshot percentage, or rather your kill percentage? Because I mean, headshot percentage is important, but it's not as important as getting the kill, right? So no matter how you get that kill, whether it be a headshot or body shot or whatever, if you get the kill at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? So, um, I want to go over T-side stuff first, okay? So basically on Inferno, T-side is pretty difficult. I'm finding, especially in pugs, it's especially difficult. And especially nowadays with the mollies and smokes being the very popular, I mean, you're finding yourself not able to execute anything really, without being at a huge disadvantage by running through a smoke or whatever. So basically, what I would say on T-side Inferno, especially when you're pugging, um, don't be that guy that just sits back and does nothing. Like, I'm finding when I'm in a pug or a matchmaking or whatever, and we're playing, eh, I find very discouraged players, especially on T side, with zero confidence, that's sitting in here like this and just doing absolutely nothing. Basically, yeah, in the beginning of the round, especially on a very heavily CT-sided map, you're not going to be able to do a lot in the beginning of the round, but you still want to be make a presence. You still want to keep the counter-terrorists honest. And what I mean by keeping them honest is you don't want these motherfuckers to all of a sudden disrespect you and just rush down here because they can, because they're gaining confidence, because they are disrespecting you now, because you're not able to hold them back, right? So you never want to give the CTs that type of comfort room and level, right? So even though they may be pre-nading banana every round, and even though the CTs might be mollying banana every round, you still want to create a presence, okay? So what I mean by that is, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. So what I mean by that is, you want to come banana in the beginning of the round. Maybe you pop a flashbang. Maybe you come logs in the beginning and fall back if they pre-nade. Generally, the smokes that you're going to see as a terrorist is either this smoke here that blocks off all of the entrance. You're going to see this smoke here that blocks off the entrance into the actual bomb site. And then you're going to see this smoke here that blocks off really deep. It may even land like right here. Or if they're really fancy, they're going to throw the smoke that lands right there. And this smoke that they throw that lands right here in the very beginning of the round is super really, ooh, donation. Let's check it out, guys. Pharaoh Goon, I know it's not a lot tonight, but Happy New Year's. Work is Pharaoh, but because I get to watch my beautiful Asian girl. Oh, Pharaoh Goon, thank you so much. Any amount helps, and $10 is definitely generous, dude. Thank you so much for the donation. Thanks, Pharaoh Goon. Have fun at work, or as much fun as you can anyway. Um, Teach that throw, good for newbies. I'll go over CT-sided smokes in a second. So I'm gonna go over basically a bunch of smokes and a bunch of how to take over bomb sites, okay? So basically as a T, this is what I like to do, and this is what I suggest you try doing. There's three things I would suggest doing right off the bat, and I'm gonna go over three basic things on Inferno to do as a terrorist, and just try all three of those and become very comfortable with all three. Because once you get comfortable with all three, then you'll be able to expand and improvise in these scrims along the way, right? So the first thing I like to do is take over banana. Okay, I want to be really aggressive with banana. The only way you can do this though is if you have enough money for a HE grenade, a flashbang, and a smoke, and maybe even a molly. Okay, so I like to have all four nades on hand as T's, especially on Inferno. Unlike Dust 2, mollies don't really matter so much, but especially on a very heavily CT-sided map, Molotovs as terrorists, it only costs $400, is a great investment, and it's going to help you push the CTs back, and also it's going to help you take over bomb sites much easier, okay? So as a terrorist, one thing, the first tip is when you're in spawn, take advantage of your spawn. If you have the best spawn out of your teammates, take advantage of that. You can do one of two things. You can take over banana fast, or you can take over halls fast. Those are two things that the best spawn. So there's two spawns here with the best. There's one here and one guy here. Both of these spawns are ideal for taking over banana and taking over halls fast, okay? So if you end up with this spawn here and you're in a pug and you guys are losing, you've tried everything, dude, just YOLO push banana, see what happens. Because yes, they HE-nade it, yes, they might molly it, but you're gonna beat all of those. Trust me. If you man mode YOLO banana, you're gonna beat those nades. The only thing you're gonna do is HE-nade. Don't even flash. Fuck the flash. Just YOLO HE-nade B car and just push that shit, okay? So, or you can flash. If you can't afford a HE-nade, if you're sitting here, you have the best spawn. I'll go over two ways to take over banana. Either with an HE-nade or either with a flash, okay? Sometimes you might only have $200 left and you can't afford an HE-nade. That's perfectly fine. Do it anyway. So let's say I only have an HE-nade here. I'm gonna run down banana fast. Make sure you guys aren't cutting corners. Like I hate, my biggest pet peeve is when you have the best spawn and you're all like, and like hitting corners and like going like this and like that cuts off seconds. Like just 1 second and it's 1 second too late. You're gonna get headshotted or you're gonna get naded or you're gonna get mollied up the asshole. And you don't want that, okay? So you wanna make sure you're optimizing your spawn as best as possible. So you're gonna plow into banana, throw an HE nade off that second pillar. I didn't throw it high enough. Off of right here, high, okay? So you're running in, throw it off of there, and again, I didn't throw it high enough again. Sorry, throw it like right there. Okay, so you're running, throw it up. Okay, that would be the perfect nade. Basically, that's gonna slow this guy down. It's gonna land like right here, and it's gonna slow him down to where, you know, now the HE nades, they slow people. Okay, so basically, you're gonna come again, you're running, throw an HE nade out, car, and then come swing out pre-firing this angle right here. Because with the best spawn here, you're going to catch this guy coming right here. Especially if they've been playing aggressive banana this whole time. Let's say you're getting raped and they're just disrespect pushing you. You're going to catch this guy off guard 100%. And you, boom, boom, pre-fire that. Let's say you can't afford an HE nade. It's fine. Just run all the way out, run all the way here, throw a flashbang off of that, swing out, and just plow. Okay? Um, and I would say YOLO plowing is sometimes just the best way to go. Alright? Let's say you have that best spawn again. This time you're gonna rush halls fast, all right? So you're rushing halls. You can run the whole way, okay? Just run the whole way, all the way down into stairs, and just fucking YOLO push this dude. Trust me. You're gonna go for that guy there, and you're just gonna rush out halls. Like, rush all the way out into Big Pit, and just do this number. Because chances are, especially if you're on the losing end, chances are these guys are very focused on mid in the beginning of the round. And it's a great way to catch off the CTs because they don't ever expect it. They might not even hear it because they might be all focused on throwing nades down mid and shoulder peeking and like doing this number and like walking and watching out boiler. And before they know it, you've already YOLO pushed halls, you're in Big Pit, and you're in a great position now. Because once you make it into Big Pit, there's no reason for you to do anything else but sit here, and now you can wait for them to come to you. You no longer have to come to them. So it gives you that advantage of being in a safe spot where you can just fucking snipe people down. Okay? So those are two things that I like to do in pugs, especially if I'm on the losing end, and I've tried everything else, okay? Another good thing to do is just come straight up T ramp, pop a flash middle, okay? Wait for it to bloom, shoulder peek, make sure he's not opping. Don't be naive, okay? Because the one time that you just blindly come up like this and do this, you're gonna get killed by a fucking opper. And even if you know that the flash popped and bloomed, sometimes they're not going to be blind. Or they will be blind, but they're going to shoot a shot anyways, and it can kill you. So don't be naive. Throw a flash up mid, wait for it to bloom, give yourself some time, and then get into this Viet Cong or Mexi pit. People call it either Viet Cong or Mexican pit, okay? Once you're in this area, you're prime. You're in a prime spot now to hold middle and hold banana, okay? So you're in this spot. Don't be greedy though. Don't be greedy. What I mean by don't be greedy is don't sit here, just shoot a few bullets and crouch. Don't sit here and try to finish off a kill. If you haven't killed him with your first burst headshot, chances are he's going to kill you. So don't be sitting here being greedy because you want to finish off the kill. Unless you're 100% certain that you're going to get the kill, don't be greedy because there's been plenty of times when this opper peeks me from left mid and I'm like, oh, I can kill him. And then boom, he just insta kills me. When what I should have done is I should have shot a few bullets, dinked him, and fell off of it. Because now I've pushed him back. And that's my main job. My main focus as a terrorist is to push the counter terrorist back and back and back until I'm in a prime position to take over the bomb site. That's my main goal and focus, right? So now that I fucking scared the shit out of him because I dinked him, he's pushed back. It's giving me more room to work with because now I have complete mid control. So this is perfect. Okay, so you just sit in Viet Cong, just do this. Are they pushing fucking mid or banana? Throw a pop flash out and hold banana. So basically, the main thing here is just to control. Your main objective and focus as terrorists is to control the map. Okay? Of course, you're one player, you have four other teammates, you can't possibly control everything. But your main job and focus is to control your area. Focus on just your area. Don't worry about what your teammates are doing. And don't rely on your teammates because this is a pug. It's a solo queue for a reason. If you're the guy that's sitting there and you get pissed off because you died, and you're like, why the fuck aren't you watching banana? And you mind fuck yourself because you just got flanked, that's your own damn fault. Like, first of all, you shouldn't be relying on your fucking pug teammates to watch anything. They're not gonna watch shit. So don't put yourself in a position to where you have to rely on your teammates to do anything. You have to play for yourself and you have to control your side of the map. And I guarantee you, if you play for yourself and you control your side of the map, and your main focus is to push them back, you're gonna see better outcomes than sit there and communicate with your team, be like, hey, watch my mid, guys, okay, watch my mid, and then you die, and then you're on tilt. Now you're fucking talking shit to your teammate, like, why the fuck weren't you watching it or whatever, you know? You don't want to be in that position, so just don't put yourself in that position. You want to set yourself up for success as much as you can, okay? So now I'm going to go over nades, how to utilize your nades properly, all right? So again, I guess we'll start with this Viet Cong position. Let's say you're sitting here controlling mid and you notice your blue teammate or red or orange, you know, there's colors on your radar. Hey, blue, are you in boiler right now? He's like, yeah, all right, I'm going to smoke out your lane for you. Try to get a pick mid. Basically, you line up the crosshair. I use left-hand models, as you guys can tell. Basically, I line up the grenade pin at the middle of the second pillar here, okay? And to the outer ring of it, to like right there. I don't know if you guys can tell where that is. But basically, I line it up to like right here. Okay. So I don't know if how you guys can see that or what's best for you to see. But basically, if you throw a smoke right here from the corner of Viet Cong, it's going to be a perfect smoke for your lane. Actually, that was kind of a shitty smoke. I think it's because I didn't aim high enough. So that's my bad, boys and girls. So basically, it's like right there. That should be it. If it's not, I quit. I'm leaving. Yeah, so that's it. It's a perfect smoke for all of your mid. And even boiler can get out here pretty easily. But basically, there's no gaps in this smoke at all whatsoever. Okay, so that's a pretty decent smoke for lane. All right, this is another pretty decent smoke that you might be able to use. Basically, you aim your crosshair above the corner of this pillar up to the height of this arch right here, and you just release, okay? And that should smoke off your wrap site perfectly, okay? There's no gaps in this smoke either. There's several ways to throw this. I've seen people throw it many different ways, but this is the one that I'm comfortable with, okay? So this is a pretty decent one. Hi, Kate Edge. Kate Edge is in my stream. Oh my God. Okay, so basically, that's gonna smoke off your lane side, alright? This is another decent smokes. I'll go over all A smokes first, and then I'll go over all B smokes along with mollies as well. This is a good library smoke for when you're wrapping into A. Okay, this is the library smoke that you're gonna use to wrap into A. Then there's another library smoke that you're gonna use when you're wrapping into CT spawn. Okay, basically this one you line up to where this wall is flush. Obviously, you don't want to be the fucking retard that is naive and you just run up here and you get killed by some fool right here. You want to burn some flashes and make sure you push them back. Okay, burn a flash mid, shoot around a little bit, make sure you're not going to get gayed while you're trying to set up for this smoke. But basically, you just make this wall flush. Oh, actually, my bad. You line up this antenna here with this wall, and you aim above the antenna until you hit the cloud. Okay? And this smoke is going to land inside library. And it's going to give you full coverage for you to be able to wrap into A. Okay, so there's no gaps in this smoke whatsoever. Okay, but along with this smoke, you want to be able to throw the arch smoke as well. That's going to land in here. All right, so this smoke is going to be, you line up underneath the vent here, and you aim onto the second arch in the corner, and you release your smoke. Okay, and that should give you the perfect arch smoke. Okay, so we have this smoke that landed here and that smoke that landed there. So it gives you full coverage to be able to comfortably take over a bomb site from the wrap. Okay, so ideally you want 3 smokes on this strat, on an A wrap strat. You want one guy that's been controlling mid from Viet Cong to throw this one here that lands lane. So you want this smoke that lands here, okay, so that you can comfortably get up mid. Then you want this smoke here, and you want this smoke here. So we have 3 smokes here at A, 1, 2, and 3. So it gives you full coverage to comfortably come up mid and wrap all the way around into A site. Okay? Then I'll show you the smoke to throw. Where the fuck am I? Here we go. I'll show you the smoke to wrap into CT spawn. You just need the 2 smokes. You need one guy to throw this smoke here, the lane smoke, and then this smoke. Basically, you line up this wall till it's flush. So don't line like this. Line it up till it's flush like that. you're gonna aim to the far left of this chimney until it hits the roof to the height of this first arch. Okay? So you go straight up from the left of the chimney until you hit the arch. Okay? And all you do is just release. And this smoke is gonna land perfectly for mini and oh, there's a gap in that. I think what it is I didn't aim enough to the right, I'm assuming. This isn't yeah, I gotta aim more to the left, I think. Actually. Yeah, there we go. So that was my bad. Basically, so again, you go here, make the wall flush, aim to the far left of this chimney, and go straight up. But make sure you're not going up and to the right like this. Make sure you're just going up, like following the line of the chimney. To me, this is where it is. I know Steph, my teammates have told me in the past while I'm doing these little tutorials and stuff, my teammates are like, you're moving to the left or you're moving too much to the right, and it confuses them. So this is just how I see it, but everyone sees things differently. So that's another thing that you guys will have to go into a server and go over this yourself and personalize it, improvise. You don't have to do these nades exactly how I do it or exactly how Adren does it. You can see how they set up for it, and you can go on a server and do it however the fuck you like to do it. As long as your method creates the same results, it doesn't matter how you got there, right? So you just want to be as efficient and simple as possible, okay? So again, this smokes off the mini and library so that you're able to, oh God, I released it while I was jumping. But basically, this allows you to rush into CT spawn into B, okay? All right. And then there's like the simple big pit smokes as well that you could use. I mean, I don't think that these smokes will help you though in pugs. I think that the several smokes that I've shown you right now is gonna help you in pugs, but I don't think that this will help you. But basically, this smokes off deep big pit. This will allow you to take A without having to worry about this guy here at all. Um, but again, this smoke isn't going to be very good for you in a pug so much. Um, so yeah, but I mean, it's good to keep in mind. And there's a pretty fancy flash that you can learn. I'm not very good at it, so I'm not going to sit here and embarrass myself with it. But basically, it's somewhere over here. You can YouTube it. And you aim like somewhere like right here, and it flashes bedroom. But again, I don't know it perfectly. The only bedroom flash that I know is to where you aim to the first dot there, and you go up with it and flash, and it flashes in there, okay? So again, if they're going bedroom a lot, you can aim for that circle, run up with the flash, let it bloom, and then take it up. Okay? But one thing you have to realize with these flashbangs are, if you ever rely on a nade or flash or smoke to make you invincible, so then you're going to lose that battle every time, okay? So the only reason you use a flash or any of these nades for that matter is just to help set you up for success. It's not a guaranteed method for success. So you want to practice utilizing your nades to the best of your ability, right? So if you're gonna sit here and use a badass flash like this, run up, let it bloom, and then wait a second because you're scared or something happened and you go in there and you're surprised that he's not blind. Come on, dude. We all know in CSGO flashbangs are shit. Like the the only thing it's gonna do is blind him for a split second. But good players, that split second is all they need because it throws them off balance for a split second. So it gives you that minor edge for a split second. That's all flashbangs are meant for, is to give you a minor edge for that split second. So if you keep that in mind and you utilize your flashbangs for that purpose, then I think that it's gonna keep you in check as well as your enemy opponent in check. Okay, so the reason I'm mentioning this is because a lot of the time I see it in newer players. It's like, why the fuck aren't you blind? Or what the fuck? You know, and it's like, well, you know, I mean, that's a part of the game. I mean, sometimes you're not blind. Sometimes you'll see this motherfucker going like this, doing the flashbang dance, and he kills you. It's like, what the fuck? But, you know, that's part of the game. That's why Counter-Strike is so skill-based. But yeah, so I just went over how to take over A. So I'll show you some nades over at B. Sorry, I'm not reading. Wait, Potter, do the flashbang dance. I'm not very good at it. I mean, I'm certainly not fucking Jordan. He goes like this, like this, but I went like this, 'cause mine's cooler. Like he's like, do or some shit like that. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna go over how to take B bomb site. Okay. B bomb site is my favorite bomb site to take over. I think that if played properly, unless they're just better than you, which sometimes you have to accept as well. And it's hard to accept that part is that, oh man, well, they're just better than me, you know? That's very hard to accept, but sometimes that's just the case, dude. Like, they're just better than you, flat out. And if that's the case, then there's really not a lot that you can do to help yourself, okay? But I'll show you guys a bunch of smokes here. Okay, the first smoke, these are called the fanatic smokes, and everyone knows these as fanatic smokes. All right. Basically, there's two smokes to this. They're both gonna land to where you have full coverage of B bomb site, so that you can wrap into CT spawn. You can go con construction. You can go CT spawn. Maybe you just chill here and just pick off people. That's a good way to do it. Or maybe you take the bomb, run into the smoke, and plant the bomb. Okay, that's mainly what it's used for. But you can do any number of things with it. You can sell a solid fake. Basically, the two spots that you're going to throw this smoke for, as soon as you stare up into these trees, the first thing that I see are these two dots. Okay? If you train your eye to see these two dots first, then you're going to throw these smokes with no problem. Okay? So basically, as soon as I get here and look up, I see these two dots. Right? So the smoke that you're going to throw it for is the higher one. Okay? Out of these two dots, always, you got to remember the higher one, the higher one, the higher one. Okay? Because a lot of the times it's confusing, especially with the number of smokes that you have to memorize as a competitive player is unreal. So, as these small, stupid reminders, it helps. It absolutely helps. Okay? So, you run into the logs area, stare at the tree, and you aim for the higher one, okay? You're gonna throw that smoke. I'm gonna throw this smoke really fast without explaining it so that you guys can see what these smokes do, okay? Basically, I just threw two smokes right now, right? And the two smokes that I threw gave me complete coverage. There's absolutely zero area that you can see through at all. And same goes for CTs. Like, they cannot see through this shit at all. Okay? It's a perfect way to plant the bomb. A little trick that you want to keep in mind though is if you're using this strat multiple times and you're trying to plant the bomb on ecos or whatever, don't always go to the same spot. Okay? What I mean by same spot, don't go here and don't go here. These are the two spots that CTs will always spam when they hear the bomb planting, right? Go to a fucking random spot, like go like right here, or like go like right here, you know? Or like, I know you can't see it, but do muscle memory. Guess it, okay? Because the more you play, the more muscle memory you gain. And so even though you can't see it per se, because of the smoke coverage, you'll still be able to kind of remember where it is, okay? So basically, again, You look at the tree, there's two dots, you aim for the higher dot, release. Okay, you go to the third pillar. There's 1, 2, and 3. You go to the third pillar. You're going to make it to where this corner lines up with the corner of the roof. Okay, so there it is right there. So it's lined up with the roof, and you're just going to aim to this middle of the antenna with the smoke and just release. Okay, and it's going to bounce off the roof, bounce again, and it's going to land right there. So those are the two smokes. Again, these smokes are called fanatic smokes, all right? They're very well known. If you call it in a pug, hey, do you guys know the fanatic smoke? More than likely, hopefully, if they're higher skilled players that you're playing with, somebody's going to recognize the name and somebody will say, yeah, I know it. And then you can be like, oh, okay, okay, I'll throw the tree one, dude. You throw the pillar one, okay? You ready? And boom, you'll be a superstar in the pug, dude. It'll be awesome. You can try it out, maybe, okay? So those are two smokes for the fanatic smoke. The second smoke you're going to throw, another one is CT spawn smoke. This is the easiest fucking smoke. You could throw it anywhere along here, okay? You come here, you just basically aim above the chimney until you reach the antenna and just release. Easiest fucking smoke NA, dude. It's going to give you a perfect CT spawn smoke. There's no gaps, no coverage. No gaps and complete coverage of CT spawn, okay? Potter, I like the sticker on your 5.7. Yeah, somebody gave it to me, one of my viewers. Okay. So this is the CT spawn smoke, okay? You aim, you come back to the logs here, aim above the chimney, aim to the black power pole line thingy-majigger wire, and just release. And again, that's the CT spawn smoke, okay? The second smoke is the most common smoke, is this spool smoke. This one is gonna be the most confusing because there are so many different ways to throw it. And honestly, my way of throwing it is not ideal because it does not give complete coverage, all right? There are better ones out there, but the thing about this spool smoke is that it's a bit inconsistent, I've found, okay? But this is another thing that I need to do as a competitive player is I need to go in a server and I need to really perfect this smoke, which I haven't done yet because I'm lazy as fuck. But I need to do it, okay? I need to do it because I found that it's inconsistent. So you guys as players, if you're aspiring to be competitive or whatever, this is something I'd highly recommend you do, is go in a server, practice these smokes until you've perfected it, okay? This is the spool smoke. You basically go to the second pillar, to the logs, go in the corner here, okay? Don't go up or anything like that. I know a lot of some YouTube videos show that you ride up the pole and shit like that. Don't do that. I don't do that. I just go in the corner, aim to the far left of this antenna, and you're gonna go to the height of the bottom part of the black bar, okay? So again, you aim to the far left of the antenna, you go straight up to the black bar, to the very bottom part. So this is where I'm aiming. I don't know what you guys see, but this is how I see it. All right. Actually, I gotta go a little more to the right. And I may have second guessed myself too much there, which I did. Okay, so I second guessed myself way too much. So this is another thing. If you stare at it too much, you're gonna get it wrong. So that's what just happened to me is I'm staring at it and trying to stare at it too much and I'm getting it wrong. So again, I'm not even gonna talk to you guys. I'm just gonna aim, go up, and throw it. See, so that's not good at all. That is not a good spool smoke at all. Shit, what am I doing wrong? Okay, so let's figure this out together. So what I would do is I would look at that smoke. So it landed like right here. I wanted to aim more to the right. So maybe, okay, since I just recently changed my resolution, as you guys know, my resolution used to be 1280 and I just changed it to 1920, so maybe that's a factor. I'm not sure. So I was aiming to the far left of the antenna, but since mine's landing too much to the left, I'm gonna move my crosshair to the right. Maybe I'll aim to the middle part here and I'll go up to the first part of the black bar and throw. And let's see what this gets me. Okay, it's better. It's much better, but now it's not going landing where I want it to. It's going too far. So I know with the trajectory of the smokes, if it's going too far, I either need to aim lower to hit the ground sooner if it's close to me, like this, or I need to aim higher if it's far from me so that the trajectory goes, oh, oops, I didn't mean to throw that. So that the trajectory, instead of going like this and going further, it goes up higher and lands closer. So for me right now, I wanted to land closer to the spool. So I'm going to aim higher. So I liked the position of the nade. I just wanted to go closer. So I'm going to aim right here in the middle of the antenna again, but I'm going to aim higher this time. Okay, much higher than what I originally was doing. So now it's landing much closer. So that one, this one that I just threw, I would be okay with. Again, this isn't perfect. This is not ideal. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. What the fuck? I can't see shit. Yeah, I'm on top of the spool right now and I couldn't see anything. Okay, so that one is actually pretty decent. That's not bad at all. That one is actually, that one's good. Because if you guys just saw, I was a CT, I went to the spool, I stood on top of it, and I couldn't see shit. And that's what we want. That's the full coverage that we're looking for. So I just figured it out. I perfected it myself pretty easily, pretty quickly. I could have done it faster, obviously, if I wasn't explaining what I was doing. So again, let's see here. First, I started off there. I figured out that I want it more to the right, so I'm aiming here. And now I figured out I want it much higher than I was doing, right? So I want to go straight up, high, and release, okay? And this is going to get me that full coverage that I'm looking for. Perfect. So this is a perfect full coverage smoke for the CT. So again, I'm going to go on top of the spool. I'm on top of it right now. I can't see shit, right? Cannot see anything. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay? Hi, zombie. Okay. So that's the smoke that we're looking for. All right? Um, and I guess we'll go over some mollies and flashes. All right? So there's several flashes that are effective. Now again, as a reminder, flashes are not perfect. If you expect your opponent to be completely blind, you're gonna die every time. The only thing flashes do for you as a player is give you that confidence of having a slight edge over your opponent. That's all it's there for, okay? But one mistake that I see a lot of the time is people just throwing flashes like that over the site. Completely useless. Doesn't do shit, okay? It's a waste of a $200. If you're gonna waste a flashbang by just throwing it over the site like this, you may as well just save that $200 for the next round because it's a waste of money, right? If you want to throw a flashbang over the site, the best ways to do it is to jump straight up, aim high, and let it release, okay? What it does is it's gonna hit an invisible hitbox in the roof, and it's gonna land straight down, and it's gonna bloom like in this, about where my body is now, all right? It's just a more effective flash. Right, so when you're going into the site, aim straight up into the air. Even more effective is to sit on top of this car, aim high, and jump up and release. And that's going to literally land right in their face, and hopefully be more effective. Hopefully it's a more better investment in your $200 that you just spent. We'll see. All right, a good Molotov to throw. Basically, you get on top of the car here and put yourself in the corner, aim to this far right of the antenna, jump, and release. And this is gonna molly off the second, or this closet, or oranges people call it. This is closet and orange molly, okay? So again, if you have a Molotov and you're taking over the bomb site, you wanna aim here, throw it, and release, okay? A trick to know about these Molotovs is you don't want to throw the Molotovs to get a kill. You want to throw the Molotovs to make your enemy opponent move positions. Because basically the reason I'm mentioning this is because you don't want to be the guy initiating the molly, then everyone throws their nades and then you go in. Because This guy is not going to be that stupid. He's not going to get mollied off and sit here and be like, ah, I'm on fire and die, right? As soon as he hears the mollies explode, he's going to run and reposition himself. So the reason I'm mentioning that is because you want to throw your mollies as your teammates are going into the site. So you want two people to be designated molliers as three people are hitting the site, okay? Because this way, as your teammates are hitting and as the mollies are blooming, those CTs have to move. So now your teammates are at a complete advantage because these CTs' main objective is now to get the fuck out of the fire and fight. So they're on the move. They're taking damage. They might be half blind. They're smoked off. And your teammates are hitting the site and plowing them. All the balls are in your court. What did I just say? So now the complete advantage is with your team. The CTs are no longer at an advantage, okay? So there's two Molotovs that you want to throw when you're taking over B. You want to throw this one here for oranges. If you have three mollies, that's even better. Another one you can throw is for the second oranges, okay? Basically, you throw the one that you just threw and you just move a little to the right and you throw another one. Molly's second orange. This is for the triple. New box is basically this is oh fuck my tooth. Ah, I just hit my tooth with my other tooth. You guys know I just got braces last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, and it's shifting my teeth. And so when I'm talking, I have that lisp. And my teeth sometimes I forget, or my jaw is like confused right now. Oh, that hurts so bad. And basically my teeth are hella sore right now. So when I'm talking sometimes, uh, my fucking upper tooth hits my lower tooth. Like in transition of talking. And it just hurts so bad. God, fucking braces, dude. Kicking my ass. Alright, so basically, you have the two Molotovs, right, over there that you just threw, and this is for the triple. I guess the best way to remember is to the right of this antenna, okay? So not this one, but this one, okay? And you crouch, just place your crosshair there and release, okay? And that's gonna molly off triple, okay? And remember, guys, with these mollies, you're not throwing it prior to going in the site, you're throwing it as you're going into the site, okay? Um, so what I mean by that is, okay, so let's say you're sitting in banana, you guys have gained control. There's like maybe 40 seconds, 30 seconds left in the round. There's like four of you guys alive. You've done your job. You've peeked a little bit, maybe burn a few flashes in the beginning. Make them waste their smoke because you don't want to be the guys that are rushing through a smoke because I guarantee you're going to lose that battle. You're going to lose that battle. So don't rush through the smoke. Be smart about it. Draw out their nades. Make them waste their nades. Hold your positions. Be patient. Then once you've wasted all their nades, you know you've wasted their nades, execute a B take. Okay, have your teammates throw the smokes. They're bloomed. You hear your mates running. Okay, as they're running, release the smolly and you run with them. Okay, and this will create this motherfucker that's hiding back here to run out to the right and then boom, you can kill him. Okay? You crouch hovercraft over here in this corner of the logs here. And you throw this molly. Yeah, why is the knife app spamming so much? Alright. Um so those are all the mollies for that. Let's see here. Alright. Now let's see here. So I went over the mollies for the B take. I went over the smokes. I guess that's it for T side. Do you guys have any questions? I'm drinking a monster. Do you guys have any questions on T side before I go over any CT side stuff? Hi, I'm Batman. Thanks, Curseways. Will there be a test and how much is it worth? What do you like to do if they start playing aggressive banana? Cone speed, if they start playing aggressive banana, your main focus is either to be A or you basically have two options. If they're playing aggressive banana, you just give it up completely, or you fucking push them back. Okay? So let's say, because this is gonna happen a lot of the times in competitive scrims and matches, is that you're a terrorist, you lost the first gun round, you're money fucked, you only have 3.8k, 3.7, you're buying AK armor because you need rounds, it's the beginning of the rounds, because the number one thing you want to remember as a terrorist, your main objective is to money fuck the CTs. That should be your main priority, okay? In the first 6 rounds, within the first 6 rounds, because CT's monies is very fragile in the first 6 rounds, super fragile. They get a losing eco boost after the sixth round, in the sixth round, but prior to that, it's very fragile. So it's very easy for the T's to money fuck the CTs. Okay, the reason I'm mentioning this is because most of the time, as T's, you're force buying constantly in the first 6 rounds. So if you watch a competitive match right now, Nip versus Fnatic, or all the professional players play, you're gonna notice that the terrorists are constantly force buying. They have no money, but yet they're wasting their entire economy into buying pistol armor and nades. And it's like, and you're thinking to yourself, why wouldn't they just save and buy an 8K with nades the next round? It's because they understand that it's more worth it for them to invest their money now and money fuck the CTs and kill as many as they can every round. Um, so that in the later six later rounds, they're comfortable in their economy, whereas the CTs are constantly playing catch up. So there's going to be those matches when you guys are playing more competitive that you're going to notice as a CT that you're constantly money fucked. You may be up 5-0, but you have no money in the bank. You have 3-3, 3-2, 3-4, and your teammates are dropping in. You're constantly buying FAMASs. That just means you just got money fucked. And if you lose one round, you're totally effed. You're gonna have to save two. You're now forced on two eco rounds, and you just pretty much, the one round that you lose, you're pretty much giving up three. So that's what the terrorists are banking on, right? The reason I mention this is because if you're in that situation and you're a terrorist, right, and you have no money for the nades, because honestly, the only time you should be taking over a banana when they're playing aggressive banana as a T is if you have the nades to back you up. Because you need your nades and flashbangs and smokes to push the CTs back and keep them honest, because just raw aim and skill isn't always going to be enough, right? Sometimes it is. Hey, sometimes it is because like I said, if you have the best spawn and you're getting raffle stomped and they're disrespect pushing you banana constantly, sometimes the only answer is to YOLO push them back. But if this is a good scrim, it's a close scrim, and you guys are close on the money and you don't have enough nades, sometimes the best answer is to just sit back. Give them banana, let them waste all their nades, and once it's like 40 seconds, you've maintained control over mid and alt mid. Then after 30 or 40 seconds or so, maybe you and your teammates can walk back into banana, clear your car, clear your close right, clear your logs. Once you get into this point, have your mate right here next to you holding this angle like this, okay? Then come into the logs, pop a flashbang, boom, let it pop and just man mode push this. Push them back. Once you've pushed them back, then you can execute a strat. Hey Potter, I'm starting a team with my friends. I have a friend and I that are very good mechanically and tactically, but the rest of the team are just starting the game. We got our own server and we practice smokes and everything, but we don't know how to call out things. For example, let's rush B, or let's hang out at A, or let's wait for a pick. Any tips to help us grow as a team? That's a good question. Um, Really, the best way to grow as a team and train your players is to have a solid in-game leader. You're gonna need someone to guide your mates, right? Without, because it's a very tactical game. Um, but you could also make it a very run and gun game if you want. I would say, as a new team, don't focus too much on tactics, okay? Because honestly speaking, Counter-Strike can very easily be a run and gun game. What I mean by that um, is that all these tactics and strategies are very helpful and effective, but sometimes just straight up rushing something is the best answer. So I wouldn't be too caught up on the tactics. What I would focus on the most is improving as individuals. I think once you improve more as individual players, and if you have a group of five that have improved individually, if you put them together, they're going to be much better than having two players that are good individually and three that are not good and four strats and tactics and smokes down their throat. Because either way, they're not going to be comfortable as players. So if they're not comfortable as players and they're sitting here scared shitless, they don't know what to do it, and you call a strat and you expect them to execute it, but they're not good individually, then what's going to happen to them more often than not is there's just going to be bots. They're going to be bots. They're going to throw a smoke. They might die with the nade out in their hand. They might die while trying to flash or trying to smoke or trying to nade or trying to molly. And that's just not the way to go. So I would focus more on just individual skill rather than tactics. You're welcome, Cone Speed. I suck at the start of the rounds, but I'm comfortable 1v1. Yeah, zombie. That is something that I find is an issue for a lot of newer players is that they're just not sure what to do in the beginning of the round. If you're not sure what to do in the beginning of the round, dude, just do the same thing every fucking round. Go into fucking halls, optimize your spawn, get up here, watch this boiler push, keep them honest, spam around a little bit, go back, down fucking T ramp. Watch out for the push. Don't be naive. Don't get opped. You know, shoulder peek this. See what's cracking. Oh, he's not opping. Once more, shoulder peek it. Don't be naive. Make it into Viet Cong and just fucking hold and wait for a push. And honestly speaking, just bait your teammates a little bit. Is this how you won against Alternate on ESWC 2012? Um, No, this isn't how we won versus Alternate in 2012. In 2012, Counter-Strike Global Offensive was very new. So the nades and the smokes and the Molotovs that we're using now and how we're playing CS now is very different than how it was played back then. So we should practice in deathmatch servers to get their skill growing. Thank you so much, Potter. It really helps. You're welcome, Daylight. I wouldn't focus too much on deathmatch. I think deathmatch is good for aiming and spraying, but again, it's very hard to translate kills that you get in a deathmatch over in a scrim. In scrims, it's very much about muscle memory and reaction to uh, being reactive, but also being proactive. So um, I would say that scrimming is going to be the best bet instead of deathmatching because deathmatching is very uh, one way, you know? And scrimming, there's just so many different ways to approach it that deathmatching is only going to get you so far. So, what I mean by that is a good Counter-Strike player is going to have a lot of game sense, so their CSIQ trumps all. So, uh, they can have the best aim in the world, but if their CSIQ isn't up to par with their opponents, they're gonna lose that battle because um, it's not about aim in a competitive match. It's about game sense and being proactive and also reacting well to the opponent. So how are you gonna react in this situation versus this situation? What are you going to do to make your enemies react? So that's what I mean by being proactive as well as reactive. So you're doing something to make your enemy react as well as you're reacting to what your enemy is doing. So those are two things that a competitive player has to learn and be comfortable with, and that only comes with time, experience, and pretty much scrimming all the time. Travis, I am not sure if you know about these commands yet, but they're very effective. Yeah, Travis, those commands help out a lot, but I am actually in an ESCA server. This isn't a private server, so those commands aren't going to help me here. But yeah, if I was in a private server, those commands are pretty awesome.